That being said, SCOTUS ruled on that. That's good. But they also ruled yesterday that election fraud should be allowed. So in 5-4 ruling, SCOTUS ruled that election fraud, yes, it can be allowed. Now, I'm not one of those people who are in the QAnon train and it's like, oh yeah, there's a secret conspiracy. Trump's going to have an uprising and overturn the system. Just trust the plan. I'm not that person. But the reality is mass mail-in voting, it is so not secure that the only reason why you would ever advocate for it, in my opinion, and I think this is actually a reality, the only reason why you would advocate for it is because you want to cheat. Because it is an unaccountable system. It's completely unaccountable. So right here, in a 5-4 vote, the Supreme Court ruled that federal law does not require mail-in ballots to be received by Election Day, holding that states may count ballots postmarked by Election Day but received afterward if state law allows it. It's so preposterous. We can't have this in a society. It's always been an illegitimate way to conduct an election. Why? There's no chain of custody for the ballot. You have no idea who handles these ballots. You can't trace it. You don't know who fills it out. And you don't know if there's any sort of duress, what kind of duress voters were under. We see clips. James O'Keefe just did a whole expose where he went to LA and there's homeless people being asked to vote for certain candidates and being paid to vote for candidates on these ballots that are freely given to them. There were case after case after case after case after case of mail-in ballots being mailed to people who are dead, to empty homes, homes receiving multiple ballots, more than people who are in the household. I mean, it is an objectively horrible system. And the least you can do as the Supreme Court to say, okay, if you're going to allow mail-in voting, until Election Day, so you have to get it in and counted by Election Day. No, actually, that's unconstitutional. It's so unbelievable. And yes, we have exceptions for people who are overseas, servicemen overseas, people who are too sick and not able to go vote in person at a polling booth, at a voting poll. But then it should not be, everyone shouldn't be able to, you shouldn't have universal mail-in voting. That's insane. And if you are too lazy to go vote in person, maybe you shouldn't be voting in the first place. Oh, you're just trying to disenfranchise voters. Good. If you are not engaged in the political process and you don't care about your country enough to vote, then you shouldn't be voting. Genuinely, I'm not sorry about saying that. You shouldn't be voting. Voting is a privilege. It's a responsibility. It is not a right. No one ever thought this until the modern century. So now, you have places like California, which takes weeks, if not months, to count their votes. Meanwhile, you have Colombia, who hand-counted their votes on Election Day in 3 hours. Like, what are we doing here? Like, the American electoral process is worse than third world countries. How embarrassing is that? That is so embarrassing. And the only reason why people want to advocate for this is so that they can cheat. It's so easy. You can have a bunch of mail-in votes, these ballots, give it to people, pay people, and there's no accountability. There's no way to track it. So just ban it. Just ban it. Vote on Election Day. And if you are going to send in a mail-in ballot, get it by Election Day. But you see this with the birthright citizenship ruling, with the election ruling. SCOTUS right now is working actively against the interests of the American people and of Donald Trump. So like I said, Trump just needs to do it himself. Whatever that looks like, whatever it takes to secure our elections, to pass the SAVE Act. And if they're not going to pass the SAVE Act in Congress, then Trump has to do it himself. We are in a crisis right now. We are being invaded. America's being invaded by millions and hordes of third world invaders. Something has to change. America's unrecognizable. I go to the mall. I do not see a single American. All I see are Muslims and foreigners. I say this as an immigrant myself. I want to see Americans. I want to see people who've been in this country, whose ancestors bled and died for this country, who love this country. I want to see more of those people in public than I do foreigners who just got here a few years ago. But now they're able to stay because why? They had children. And now through their anchor baby, they're able to stay and have protected legal status. I mean, it's in a completely broken system. Something has to change. Trump, do whatever you have to, do whatever you can, because the future of America quite literally depends on this.